From Flow Motion Studios in New York City, it's the inaugural Campus Lights Virtual Gala, celebrating gratitude with you, friends and supporters of Chabad on Campus International, featuring our presenters, Modi, Sean Burston, and Label Mangel. Musical performances by Laura Melnikoff, Menachem Weinstein, and Charles Goldberg. Live art demonstration with Yitzhak Muli. Our gala hosts this evening are Karen and Jeffrey Cohen, Eleanor and Howard Morgan, Pamela and George Rohr, Jill and Ron Swartz, and the Chabad on Campus International Advisory Board.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Sean Burston. Welcome to Campus Lights, the first ever Chabad on Campus International virtual gala. How cool is that? We are in New York City at Flow Motion Studios, celebrating light and gratitude with you. In here, out there, all over the world, on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, or any other platform you're joining us on. And we are acknowledging you as a beacon of light in a world that desperately needs it. Chabad was my home away from home at George Washington University in Washington, D.C., and I'm sure many of you can relate. One of the highlights of my Chabad on Campus experience was actually not on campus at all. It was at the Pekisha in Crown Heights, provided by Chabad on Campus International. I saw a beautiful community of Jewish homes and families and a special way of life. And I saw all that with a classmate of mine, Jillian Leviton. And I'm so happy to share that through the Chabad on Campus connection, she's now Jillian Burston, my wife. This is one of countless examples of how Chabad on Campus International truly enriches students as Jews and often, eventually, as married couples. For that, we are forever grateful. With us in the studio is Yitzhak Muli, known as the Pop Art Rabbi. He'll be conducting a live art demonstration inspired by the stories, the music, and the people who will be joining us this evening. Yitzhak's art is a spontaneous eruption of colors and ideas, and we cannot wait to see what he creates tonight. Accompanying him is Laura Melnikoff on the cello, a Chabad on Campus alumna from University of Cincinnati with Rabbi Yitzi and Mrs. Dina Krieger. A classically trained cellist, Laura has performed her soulful music on stages all over the world. So donate now at campuslights.tv for a chance to be a part of our $1.8 million crowdfunding campaign ending tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern. And remember, thanks to our very generous partners, every dollar you donate tonight will be quadrupled. So don't miss out on this incredible opportunity. As an investment, this is quite the ROI. Let's go directly now to Yitzhak Muli, the Pop Art Rabbi, and Laura Melnikoff on cello.
In the beginning, there was a vast emptiness. Then a thick darkness emerged, and God conceived the perfect solution: light. And to this day, light remains the simplest and most accessible solution to every experience or landscape.
How amazing is this? This is a virtual gala instead of a regular gala. What's the difference? Let's just think about this. In a virtual gala, you are in your home, dressed in whatever you want, whatever schmata, whatever jersey of a team that hasn't won games in years. You can be sitting there with a tichel, with your big baseball hat, whatever you are in comfort of your home. Whereas in a regular gala, you gotta get dressed in a suit that sometimes doesn't fit well. You gotta wear a dress that you didn't wear to the gala the week before. You gotta arrive there. Oh my God, you see your name on a table number and it's never spelt right, and the number you have and your best friend's number are never the same. You walk in, they have the plated salad. That's a big thing now to save time. The salad looks like it's gestorben. It's like a tired old leafy salad that it's just sitting there. Eat me. They continue. There's a bread basket. You're fressing. You're upset. You're ruining your diet. They bring on the main speaker. They bring on the honorees who can't pronounce the names of any of the rabbis. And in a half hour, each one with the picture. And you got to make sure the Rebbitzins on this side, not that side. It's too close to him, too close to her. And you're sitting through this, and it's torture. Torture. Finally, they show you a movie, maybe some kids are gonna sing. Then if you're lucky, I'm there doing comedy, right? If they can't afford me, they have an illusionist, or God forbid, a magician. And then of course, the big reveal at the end, the par of dessert. Some dessert with an ice cream you can spackle a wall with. This is what everybody's waiting for at the end. Then you gotta go home, it's freezing. This is different. You are in your home. And the big advantage of doing this virtual rather than a regular gala is the money that's saved. This is money that's going directly to Chabad on Campus International, right to the kids and the matzah balls on Friday night. Chabad on Campus International. These are rabbis and rebbitzins that have to convince kids that are on campus that it's more fun to hang out with them than to do anything else on a Friday night on their campus. Do you understand the magnitude of what these rabbis and rebbitzins have taken on? This is 270 Chabad centers on campuses worldwide. 588 rabbis and rebbitzins. 1 million matzah balls every Friday night. Be a part of it. Help make that happen. All over the world, you'll be helping students connect with their Yiddishkeit. You'll be helping these rabbis and rebbitzins that are in the ends of the earth with these amazing students, these souls that need to be touched and need to know what's offered to them.
Modi's the best. I'm honored tonight to be sitting next to Label Mangel, an IDF combat veteran, the son of a Chabad rabbi, and like me, the grandson of Holocaust survivors. Label tours college campuses to stand up for Israel and the Jewish people. He's the winner of the 2017 People's Choice Award, and if it was up to us, he'd win every year. We're also pleased to have with us Anna Zwern, who is currently a forensic psychology graduate student at George Washington University, and she's a class of 2018 grad from Franklin and Marshall College in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Label, thank you for your service. I wanted to start by asking you, what do you think are some of the challenges Jewish students face on campus today that they haven't necessarily faced in the past?
I think there are actually a multiple list of issues, but I think maybe the most relevant is the fact that Israel hatred and ultimately Jewish hatred, anti-Semitism has become so mainstream. Right. So it's not hidden away anymore. You walk on campus and there's an anti-Israel rally going on. You walk into the dorm and there's a paper about the next anti-Israel event. Unfortunately we see repeated incidences of swastikas on dorm rooms and things like that. And the second part of that is social media, right? No one had to deal with social media in the past. So it can be very overwhelming for a student to walk onto campus, and no matter where they go, it's in their face. Whether it's online or walking around campus even. And I can understand why a Jewish student walking on campus today could feel fearful or feel like maybe they shouldn't express their Judaism. Right. And these are things that we didn't have to deal with just a few years ago even. Yeah,
you're absolutely right. I remember when I was at college, it was the start of this kind of new mainstream revolution of anti-Semitism, anti-Zionism. And I wanted to ask you, Anna, as a recent grad, were there any experiences you had encountering anti-Semitism on campus?
Unfortunately, yes. My first 3 years, I was lucky to not have to encounter that, but my senior year at undergrad, just like Label said, there were a few instances where swastikas were drawn in classrooms, and as a Jewish student, I was pretty fearful to wear my Jewish star, to walk around proud during the holidays. It was a fearful time.
Yeah. And one thing I really want to know about recent student life is, are there any tools you have, any places or environments on campus that you feel strengthen Jewish students in the face of all of this?
For sure. So a bunch of Jewish students kind of rallied together and were wondering where we could feel safe and kind of find that environment. And the Chabad on my campus was actually the perfect outlet for me to do so. Going back to my freshman year, I was very hesitant to join a Chabad community. I didn't grow up particularly religious, so I was kind of nervous if I would fit in or, you know, where my stance would be. And I was sick during my freshman year, and I was brought chicken soup to my dorm from Rabbi Green and Shira Green, and they just welcomed me with open arms, and it really became my home away from home. So I was very grateful to find that outlet.
So if I can just add to that real quickly, having had the honor and privilege of traveling around and visiting Chabad on campuses to share some of my experiences and some of my stories, I urge students on campus to, during these times, these difficult times where you might find it challenging to be proud of your Judaism, go out and seek your Chabad on campus and let them provide you with the necessary education and tools to be able to respond to these acts of hatred and anti-Semitism. And as we look throughout Jewish history, we see it time and time again, is during these moments is when it's most important that we as a people and us as individuals don't shy away from the hatred, but ultimately strengthen our pride because of it. And Chabad on campus is leading the fight, is on the front lines, and I strongly urge you guys to all do that.
Absolutely. And I mean, this is very interesting, and thank you. Our next guest is Charlie Goldberg, aka Hard Charlie, a Hasidic hip-hop sensation touring campuses with his hip-hop Shabbat program. Charles has a truly unique and quintessential Chabad on campus story. Let's watch.
When I arrived to KU, more than anything, I was overwhelmed.
10 years ago, Zalman and Nahama Tachtel started Chabad at the University of Kansas, KU. At their very first event, Charles Goldberg showed up.
It was a barbecue out in the back, and Charles was there and was super friendly, super talkative.
And at the time, what struck me the most was, here is a young man who has so much passion for life, so much energy.
Before going to college, my parents were always yelling at me. They were very, very upset with me. I was constantly dating non-Jewish girls. I was constantly doing basically everything other than my homework.
I must confess, his energy and his passion was in various different directions, but he had this incredible energy and incredible passion.
Here I am, I'm a lonely kid. I'm clearly insecure about my relationships. And here is a rabbi and his wife who is like, saying, I want to be there for you. And that was wild. That was amazing. I had never met anyone like that before.
Awake, yet unamused. I'm undercover suffering in no desire to move. My entire being is streaming in this room. It's just
Chabad became my life when I was in college. It was literally everything to me. It was my home, it was my support system, it was where my friends were, it was where I studied, it was where I grew and developed.
He would come on a Saturday morning, and it was just him and I in the very beginning of our Chabad house. We would sit together and we would just pray.
The rabbi offered me a brand of Judaism that was applicable. It was a brand of Judaism that I could approach and use, and it was psychological.
Those moments of prayer ended up being the beginning of an incredible turning point in his life, where he took a grasp on his situation and became a successful student who graduated and made it to grad school, and today just passed the boards last week to be a psychotherapist.
I think the Chabad helped Charles keep a better focus on attaining his goals, whether they be academic, relationships, and Judaism, to direct his energy in a more specific way.
My story As unique as it is, I'm not the only one that this has happened to. Chabad Shluchim on campus and Chabad Shluchim in general have done such amazing work. There are so many millions of stories just like mine.
Hi, Charlie. Chabad on Campus International. Check it out, Awake, yet unamused. I'm undercover suffering, no desire to move. My entire being's dreaming of leaving this room. It's just my overtired feet refuse. As soon as I choose to put on my shoes, the beating resumes. But I figured it out, the medicine goes down better with a little sugar on the spoon. It's true, look at me, I'm living proof. Look at me with my neck in a noose. If it wasn't for my mama's chicken soup, it'd be a ticket time bomb impossible to defuse. Dial up the cops, I'm in hot pursuit. And out to avenge my relatives who got locked in a boss car and removed. Numbers on the arms tattooed. No Nazi, no Holocaust will ever stop me from being a Jew. I mean it too. You ain't got a clue about any of the things I've been through. Turning Charlie out of bricks was caused by lies and chicks with mental issues. It still continues. All these negative conditions don't improve. It's like the whole world is crying and I'm running out of tissues. I've got more than a few loose screws. Mamas are lost like Ithaca's crew on a desert island, and I'm quickly losing hope of getting rescued. What's next up on the menu? Play yet another show with another venue. Break another girl apart, though I never did intend to become such a superstar, cause I'm nothing special. Let's all be intellectuals. See my heart is more than 8 grams of ventricles. Don't just assume my unconventional views are just me dazed and confused, cause I'm not. I got no excuse, but I do have friends to introduce. See, this is dancing, this is flying, this is standing, this is trying, this is loss, this is treasure, this is strength beyond all measure, this is pain, this is mercy, this is breaking, this is burning, this is mine, this is gonna be fine. These paper cuts will heal with time. Yeah. Chabad on Campus 2018. Check it out, yeah. Awake, although I'm much rather be asleep. I'm just the dead who get forever to rest in peace. I'm definitely gonna have to put a little bit of peep, cause the flexion with limits on the fleece go free to green the pastures of first chance to get to leap. Though I was counted on them to lead me into a field of dreams, but they just stampede or trouble me beneath their feet. I can't believe I ever trusted what looks so sweet and fun, because really nothing is what it seems to be. Nothing is gonna come around to see that I'm released from these boundaries surrounding me. They tried to devour me outwardly, maybe because of kosher and low in calories. I just wanted that amount to be proud of me. Yeah, I forget that I'm allowed to breathe only after the curtains go down. I'm a proudest police, and I'm a back at ease. Open the magazine, attach the cat and squeeze for rapid relief. Like gonna be inside my chest cavity. But the past you with sadness or tragedy. Has anyone ever asked what life is if it's lived unhappily? Just dramatics, we gotta get past what doesn't matter in reality. Topic cover drive our diamonds, houses, yachts, and yearly salaries. Physicality refined with the black hat as a rap straps on my phylacteries. Feeling in my heart and between my eyes, make me strong just like a Maccabee. Cause I'm in the middle of a battle between gut reaction and my sanity. Plan a strategy, just my focus on a cactus, and I manage to sit passively. I'm knee deep in disaster, I'm the master of catastrophe. Tomorrow is collateral damage, my last bit of hope, the only casualty. So please God, let me find romance and take it to the marriage canopy. Then my wife give me the strength to smash the glass and start a family. Help me to be righteous, pious, and inspired to give charity. But most of all in uncertain times, bless me with some clarity. Out.
Watch out, Drake. Charlie's quite the Jewish rapper. Our next guest isn't a rapper, but he sure has done lots of rapping. His name is Rabbi Yossi Gordon, a dear personal friend of mine and the CEO of Chabad on Campus International. And he's going to drop some wisdom on us right about now. Rabbi, it's so nice to see you. I really always look forward to every time we get to be together, whether it's in New York or back home in Miami, and now's one of those times, and I'm always delighted to see you.
And it's a delight for me too, Shimon, without question. And I hope and pray that indeed I can share something that's wise.
I think, yeah, you know what? If past is prologue, like every other time we get together and I'm uplifted, I think I will be too tonight. And I want to ask you a little bit about the Chabad on Campus International mission, and specifically about the different challenges that are present on campuses and that challenge Jewish student life. So with all that, how would you tell us how Jewish students should prioritize or react? What can we do about that?
So I think that an approach that's sensible is an approach that the Rebbe articulated. Mm-hmm. And the Rebbe said that if you want to know where to focus your energy, consider what those that are fighting you would want to have happen And then focus there, because that's probably your weakest point, where you're the most vulnerable. So today we see clearly that there's so many forces that are trying to weaken our Jewish identity, weaken our commitment, weaken our relationship with each other, weaken our affinity to our homeland, to Israel. And we need to be the ones that stand up and say, every single Jewish student is integral to the Jewish nation. And no one doesn't matter. Everyone is important. Everyone matters. And everyone helps complete everyone else.
Right. You know, that message really resonates with personal experiences of mine, because in my experience on campus, the answer always was, on one level or another, connect. Connect to your fellow Jew, connect to Hashem, become more educated, become more spiritual. And I really think that our adversaries can sense a lack of pride where there is a lack of pride, a lack of a real connection where there is a lack of an external perceived connection. And the more we can do to show the world that we have that connection, that that we're authentic, the better I think we'll be. And that was my experience on campus, and I know that's the case for students all over the world who participate in Chabad on Campus International programming.
And that's the message on the ground that the shluchim, the rabbis and the rebbetzins are bringing to the students. And that's the message that Chabad on Campus International works so diligently in order to be able to provide the opportunities that the rabbis and the rebbetzins in the Chabad houses need in order to be able to share this message.
Right. And I want to ask you the really big question, if I could be so bold, and that is, where does Chabad on Campus International get all its funding?
See, I'll tell you this, Shimon. Not every big question is going to get an answer, but I'll answer it. The answer is, as I say I'm sure I've said it before to you. If I haven't, then I'll say it now. That at Chabad, we have all the money that we need. It's just temporarily in someone else's bank account. So all we're doing is seeking what we know already is allocated from God to help us. So the answer is that, truly so, we have been blessed with so many generous friends who understand and appreciate our message, with whom we share so many of these very important values, and because of these shared values, support us and do so with great generosity. And therein lies the secret. From there comes the funding that we require. But it's a partnership. It's a partnership because nobody can succeed without the other.
Right.
So we make a decision to dedicate ourselves to the Jewish people forever. When a family goes to a campus and opens a Chabad house, they're not coming home. They're staying there forever. And our team is on the job to help them succeed forever. And then we have a partnership with our funders, with our supporters, to be able to ensure that everyone here can succeed. So it's a beautiful, seamless entity where everybody is in sync with each other.
That's very special because it really shows that every single person within the Chabad on Campus International ecosystem is a real partner in what we do here.
Absolutely. Very well said.
Thank you, Rabbi.
So what I'd like to share now is that this campaign is about gratitude. It's about gratitude to the rabbis and to the rebbetzins, the shluchim and the shluchos. It's about gratitude to the students, and it's about gratitude to you, our cherished supporters. So what I ask of you today is to hold dear to our shared values and make a gift to help us succeed. Every dollar you give will be quadrupled. We need your help. We need your partnership. And we hope and pray for your well-being. Thank you.
You heard it. Go to campuslights.tv now and until 3 p.m. Eastern tomorrow and donate, because you can quadruple your impact now. And now we're going to turn to a short clip of the Chabad on Campus International Advisory Board, some of the people behind the scenes who work hard day and night, again, partners in this mission, and we'd like to see what they have for us.
Rebecca, what was your biggest takeaway from this meeting that you had today?
This is one of the most self-aware, self-reflective organizations I've ever served on the board of, and that they really just want to improve. It's really nice to see.
My takeaway is my giveaway. I just made a pledge to help the young leadership. That's what we need. We need people who are coming out of the colleges to continue the work, to grow the work, and I'm very excited and looking forward to that kind of growth.
There's no I in Chabad. Chabad on campus ensures that every single student is touched, is inspired, is provided whatever they need to fulfill their Jewish needs. It's a home away from home, it's a community, and that's why I'm a proud supporter of Chabad on campus.
One of the things that I think folks look for as philanthropists, can I get a high return on investment? And will my dollars go far? And I think that's one of the things that Chabad does incredibly well. And so it's an exciting part of being a donor for an organization that really does value the way to make a dollar stretched to its maximum ability.
Every single person who is involved in the Chabad on Campus Foundation is involved not only with their pen and with their checkbook, but is involved with their mind, involved with their time, involved with their heart. I would like to specifically mention the Roars, Pamela and George, who have spearheaded the Chabad on campus growth in unbelievable ways. They take phone calls at every time of day and night. They are the most engaged shluchim of the entire Chabad on campus network, and it is an honor to work together with them.
We're grateful for the support that's allowed it to grow to the amazing extent that Chabad on campus is now growing. Where it's reached now is amazing.
The entrepreneurial spirit of the organization. You either have that or you don't. And this organization has a wealth of that entrepreneurial spirit. And it's one of the reasons why they're able to succeed and grow like they have.
More than 10,000 students are spending a Shabbat dinner at a Chabad house every single Friday night. More than 50,000 students are celebrating Rosh Hashanah at a Chabad house. These numbers are good, but there are many more students that are not yet there.
We got to put gas in the car. We have to be there for the students. Right now, there's all kinds of turbulence. There's anti-Semitism. There's all kinds of different problems on campus. So it's an open home and an open heart, and we're ready to give them anything they need Jewishly and to help them find their Jewish self and their Jewish identity. The message I have for the donors is that the more you can help, the more we can do. It's a clear equation.
This should be fun. Charlie, the two of us are Chabad on Campus alumni. So I know that my life today is directly impacted by my connection with Chabad on Campus. Charlie, can you share with us a little bit about how your life is impacted by your relationship with Chabad on Campus?
Definitely. I found my profession as a result of being part of Chabad, just learning Hasidus. I work as a clinical psychotherapist full-time when I'm not rapping. And 3/4 of what I'm doing with my clients is actually teaching them Hasidus, teaching them the mystical aspect of the Torah, but finding ways to adapt it to their needs. And this is a skill that I really learned from interacting with my rabbi.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Now, I'm sure on campus you've had your fair share of all-nighters with Rabbi Zalman Teichel at Chabad of Kansas University. Could you share with us a particularly memorable experience you had with him?
You know, it was interesting. There was a night that I was going through a lot. I was having some relationship difficulties, and I called him literally at midnight. And he says, "Charles, no problem, come on over." And I sat with him. He listened to me. And after I poured my heart out to him, he said, "Charles, I'm jealous of you." I said, "You're jealous of me? I'm having real serious issues." He says, "I'm jealous of you because if I know that only the greatest people have the greatest difficulties. Wow. And if you have gone through that, then, that's pretty impressive." And it made me feel so much better about myself. And I really needed that at that time.
That's a classic embodiment of everything Chabad does. And, that reminds me of my time as a student at GW. Mm-hmm. Every freshman student ought to know that there's a Chabad house where they can go and get a jump start on their college careers. For me, I met seniors and juniors at Chabad who would eventually be the ones to help me land my first internship. And I really believe if you want to excel at college, you've got to go to your Chabad house. You're going to get that inspiration from the rabbi or rebbitzin, and you're also going to be able to connect with these students who've been there and know the ropes.
And that's very true. And, I love that Chabad gives us a place to be at home. That's really what we need more than anything, especially in those tumultuous years.
Yeah, absolutely it is. Coming up next is Sarah, a trending social media influencer known as the Hasidic hipster girl. She chatted with some students at the Pagisha, the annual supersized Shabbat in Brooklyn. Let's watch.
Good morning and happy Friday. It's a beautiful day. The sun is shining. We are here in Crown Heights and we are about to have a fantastic time at this Pagisha NYC Shabbaton. Thousands of Jewish students from around the world, and it will be an experience of a lifetime here at Chabad on Campus International Shabbaton.
I'm from Texas.
Orlando, Florida.
Nashville, Tennessee.
Buenos Aires. Miami. Los Angeles.
Jerusalem.
Syracuse, New York.
Miami.
I'm a shlucha at the Chabad at Vanderbilt. Woo! We are about to go interview some people and see why they are here. And how did you hear about Chabad on Campus International?
After I came back from the birthright trip, I decided to kind of reach out and find some nice student organizations on campus, and then I decided to join Chabad. Yeah.
Obviously because of Pagisha, this is my third time going, and every year gets better and better, and I am very excited for this year.
There's not that many Jews that are at university, so we would really like to, meet some more people, maybe find a husband.
Yeah. Getting the actual Shabbat experience in Crown Heights, because it's something that we definitely do not get down in Florida.
I've been invited to share some inspirational thoughts and get down to the soul and the essence of life.
My name is Mayor Kay. Hope you have a great day. I'm very excited to be joining you on this walking tour around this colorful neighborhood called Crown Heights. We'll be learning a lot of the history of Crown Heights, a lot about the Jewish community, the customs, the characters, the people. We get lucky to meet some interesting characters on the street today.
We're going to tour a little bit of Crown Heights. We're going to go to 770, go to a mikveh. We're going to do some Judaic shopping.
Just like a really big hangout with like thousands of Jews. Just like a really great Shabbat experience.
The students just walked into 770 for their first time.
For tomorrow we have a day of shacharit and some lectures and more classes and more food.
So much of the discussions and the interactions are life-changing.
I'm just expecting to be closer to some true forum of me.
I just love being surrounded by other Jews and being together, so it's a really good feeling.
For some of them will be the first Shabbat in their life that will do it full. Students like challenges. Students have to try everything. So let's try Shabbat also.
We attempt to keep Shabbat as much as we can, but in Nashville it's very difficult. It's just not conducive. Dorms are all electronic. It's very, very difficult. So we're very excited to be in an environment where we're allowed and like everyone is capable of keeping Shabbat with us.
I think it's going to be like a really fun opportunity to go to a host's house and experience like a really nice Shabbat.
Chabad on campus gives me the opportunity to meet nice Jewish girls and one day maybe find the love of my life. Maybe here.
Everyone is really excited to meet more people involved with Chabad because the Chabad on campus is fairly small where we're from, so it's just fantastic to be here.
Thanks Chabad on campus for being this amazing organization that Shulchan can resource back to.
I want to say thank you so much to all the donors, each and every single one of you, for making the Shabbaton a possibility. You're giving thousands of Jewish students around the world an opportunity to connect and keep the Shabbat together.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, Chabad on Campus International.
And now we're going to go to Modi, who had an opportunity to chat with our dear friend Ron Swartz, one of our Gala hosts. Ron joined a group of students on Living Links, a 7-day trip to Poland organized by Chabad on Campus International. The trip explores the vital connection between our past, present, and future. Take a look.
It's hard to wrap your mind around it, to feel that I'm here walking through the barracks and going through the old gas chamber, and it's just unbelievable, and I can't believe I'm here.
You learn about it in school, but actually being here is something completely different. It just changes your perspective on everything.
It was surreal to stand at places where Jewish life flourished
but also was decimated.
I think the most important and touching part of this trip was our visit to Auschwitz. Just walking through the camp, I felt like I heard the cries of all the Jewish people that were dying and were weak and were starved. Looking through the book of all the individuals who were murdered, I found 2 giant pages with people with my last name that could have been relatives.
We held a candle lighting ceremony at Auschwitz on the first night of Hanukkah, and it was just so meaningful for me as a granddaughter of a Holocaust survivor.
At the end, we got a letter from our parents, and it was very hard because we had just visited the graves where 800 Jewish children were killed for no reason other than that they were born Jewish. And it has definitely brought me closer to my family and to my Jewish pride.
I just saw like how precious every life is and how precious we should treat it.
It's honestly life-changing, and I'm blessed to be a part of this amazing group and had the opportunity to come here and learn more about my past, and I'm proud to be Jewish.
Seeing all of the empty, beautiful synagogues has made me realize how much more I should cherish my Jewish heritage.
What I'll bring back from the trip is that I'll never be embarrassed to be Jewish, and I will stand up for Israel to make sure that we have a Jewish homeland.
And I can hear in my imagination the Jews standing 40 feet from here, behind barbed wire, singing, "Father in heaven, we will outlive them." They were singing about you.
On the Living Links trip to Poland, to Auschwitz. Tell us about what you went through there.
I did go on Living Links. I sponsored it in memory of my dad, who passed away in August of 17. I wanted students to get to experience the devastation and the horror of the Holocaust, and also to see the vibrancy and extent of Jewish life in Europe.
How did it affect the students?
I think it was extraordinarily moving for them.
And you?
Well, for me as well. It's just devastating, and it's just brutal to see it, and to experience it, and to know that young people and older people were just treated like property and dirt and just destroyed.
And when you were with the students on this trip, did you get a chance to bond with them and speak to them and hear what their experience with Chabad on campus is?
Yes, I did get a chance to speak to them and interact with them. Each of them, all of them, expressed how gratifying it was for them to have found Chabad on campus, and how meaningful it was for them, and how it stirred within them their Jewish roots and their Jewish identity. And that's the most rewarding part about being involved in this organization.
It's a virtual gala celebrating gratitude. And what is your gratitude towards Chabad on campus?
Well, I'm actually grateful that it exists and allows somebody like me the opportunity to give back to the world. I grew up learning about my Jewish identity and experiencing it firsthand at home through the efforts of my parents. And I want to give other young adults, young Jews today, the opportunity to know what it means to be Jewish, and to know that there's an extensive community out there that pulls for them every day. It's enormously personally rewarding for both myself and my wife. Fundamentally been most rewarding as just a Jew. It's wonderful to see. I got 2 letters from 2 students who were at Chabad on campus in Oneonta. And one of them was from a young lady who grew up from a home that was a mixed marriage. And had no Jewish identity whatsoever, though her mother was Jewish. And she had no relationship with her maternal grandmother because she had nothing in common. She went to Oneonta, she started going to Shabbos dinner, she came home at the end of the first semester, and all of a sudden she discovered a relationship with her grandmother. And she wrote me this very moving and touching letter, thanking myself and my wife for our making it possible, which we really didn't. It's the shaliach up there who did. And it's deeply gratifying to know that, and to know that there's a grandmother out there who now has a relationship with her granddaughter because she happened to go to dinner Friday night at somebody's house.
And what message do you have to others about helping, about getting involved?
Well, I think you need to get involved in the world. I think it's incredibly rewarding, whatever your choice is. What I like about Chabad on Campus International is we are an umbrella organization. We provide support to 220 plus Chabad houses across campuses all across the world, and they deliver an incredible message to all those students. So the reach is enormous. The extent of what we can do is enormous, and the impact is just incredibly dramatic.
Chabad on Campus is grateful to you for all the help you do in making students a part of these programs.
It's my privilege.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Wow, that was very moving. With us here is Stephanie Yitzhakov, who's the program director at the Chelsea Shul and an alumna of Chabad at the University of Minnesota with Mrs. Chavi and Rabbi Yitzi Steiner. Stephanie, you saw how important it is to stay connected with our past. Can you tell us a little bit about your experience at U of M and how you did that?
In 2014, I was the student body president at the University of Minnesota at Chabad, and the college students are a very interesting species. You kind of have to force them to come and accept free things and free food and free fun, but they are very easily infusible with energy, Judaism, and they can become a leader, and what Chabad on Campus tries to do is take them out of their dorm or their frat or their sorority and try to make something out of them, make them a leader, and hopefully inspire them to do good things in the world and, again, become a leader.
That's excellent. Can you tell me, in Minnesota, what options would you have, say, for kosher food if there wasn't a Chabad house there?
So around campus, it's very hard to find Judaism. There's not really a shul nearby or anything like that.
Right.
Chabad is the hub of Judaism on campus at the University of Minnesota. That's where you go for your kosher food. That's
Right.
where you go to celebrate Shabbat with your friends. And it's really the hub of Judaism for me, in Minnesota in general, and for most students, it's on
Right.
campus.
That's amazing. And Label, I know you have a unique family perspective regarding our collective experience with the Holocaust. Would you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, my grandfather, Rabbi Nissan Mengel, was one of the youngest survivors of Auschwitz. He was just 10 years old when he was sent there. And growing up and hearing his stories through my younger ages, but also through my teenage years, I realized that I have to do something in order to give back and recognize and properly honor his sacrifice.
Right.
So I spent a lot of time thinking about what exactly that would be, and ultimately I decided that serving the Israeli Defense Forces would be my way to kind of tell him, you sacrifice so much for our people and our family, I've got it from here. And what I realized during my service is that it can't just be a couple year sacrifice. We have to take it upon ourselves as individuals, no matter what that sacrifice is, to sacrifice in some way for our entire lives. So even after I finished my military service, I came back to the United States, where I realized that I want to continue through my experiences to uplift and inspire the next generation, to try and get them involved, try and help out the Chabad on campuses by giving my perspective and hopefully help them realize that no matter what the specific sacrifice is, it's on us as individuals and then collectively as a people to make sure that we properly honor the sacrifice of so many who've come before us and ensure the future of our people.
Right. That continuing commitment, I think, is something that I learned from my shliach on campus, because it's not like a job for them. They show up for a year and then they're out. It's a lifestyle. It's a life. And we graduate, but they're still there forever. And so I think you really embody that. You could have. We're all grateful for what you did, and you could have stopped there, but you keep doing it.
Yeah, I think it's important that each of us as individuals realize that, is that, whatever that sacrifice is going to be, to make sure that we're still sacrificing throughout our entire life.
Right.
And ultimately, that is what ensures the future. We're not going to get there by ourselves. We have to take it upon ourselves to make sure it happens.
Yeah, and I think, Stephanie, you as well, you did tremendous service to the University of Minnesota community, and you came back to New York, and you could have done whatever you wanted, and you're still working on Chabad programs.
Yes. Yeah, it holds a special place in my heart,
Yeah.
that's for sure. And the Shulchan call it the revolving door. Every 4 years, the kids that they get so close to and the kids that they love so much, they see them leaving. And like you said, they still have to stay there and they still have to serve. That's why we have to continue supporting them and show them that we love them right back. So.
Yeah, well, I got to figure out what I'm going to do to keep it going. Well, thank you both for sharing that. We're going to go now to Menachem Weinstein, an incredibly talented musician and performer. Without further ado.
Ojavo shalom aleinu, Ojavo shalom aleinu, Ojavo shalom aleinu ve'al kulam. Ojavo shalom aleinu, Ojavo shalom aleinu, Ojavo shalom aleinu ve'al kulam. Ojavo shalom aleinu, Ojavo shalom aleinu, Ojavo shalom aleinu ve'al kulam. Ojavo shalom aleinu, Ojavo shalom aleinu, Ojavo shalom aleinu ve'al kulam. Salam aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Oh, salam, salam aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Oh, salam. 1, 2, 3 and Ojavo shalom aleinu, Ojavo shalom aleinu, Ojavo shalom aleinu ve'al kulam. Ojavo shalom aleinu, Ojavo shalom aleinu, Ojavo shalom aleinu ve'al kulam. Salam aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Oh, salam, salam aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Oh, salam. Ojavo shalom aleinu, Ojavo shalom aleinu, Ojavo shalom aleinu ve'al kulam. Ojavo shalom aleinu, Ojavo shalom aleinu, Ojavo shalom aleinu ve'al kulam. Salam aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Oh, salam, salam aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Oh, salam, yeah, yeah.
How awesome was that? So Modi had a chat with Howard Morgan, a philanthropist and venture capitalist, who's one of our gala hosts this evening. He's going to share with us why he believes Chabad on campus is a wise venture to invest in. Let's see.
Can
I always
understand
enjoyed watching the Chabad rabbis with the law students. That's always the most fun, back and forth and back
Yes.
and forth. You know.
Because of the Talmudic backgrounds, you can always find the debating way to make sure that the students...
Yes. But the Chabad rabbi could always just grab a book and go, but look what it says in here.
Yes.
You know, and it could be a cookbook in Hebrew.
They won't know.
You know. Howard Morgan, it's a pleasure interviewing you regarding the work you and Eleanor do for Chabad on campus. Besides helping Chabad on campus, what else is it that you do?
Well, my role is as a venture capitalist. And before that, I was a professor for many years. And I have the same role that the shliachs have, which is nurturing young people, nurturing their great ideas. For me, I've been lucky. We've nurtured ideas like Uber and Blue Apron and other companies that have helped make me some money, some of which I give back to Chabad on campus. But it is really in nurturing young people's ideas and making them feel good about them and helping those ideas come true that is what I love to do, but it's also what Chabad on campus loves to do.
What makes the students love Chabad on campus so much?
Well, I think in general, Chabad is a welcoming organization. It's non-judgmental, and it wants to make all Jewish students feel comfortable and to go one more level in their Yiddishkeit, as it were. And I think they feel that, and also, very frankly, to meet other Jewish kids on campus, which is not always easy in giant campuses.
What do you have to be grateful for regarding Chabad on campus?
Well, I have 7 grandchildren, Kinara. The oldest one is now in college, and he's gone over to Chabad on campus. And
Can I ask which college?
Harvard.
I was asking just to say, I knew you wouldn't want to, I just figured I'd let you ship the nachas on that.
That's
so
okay.
Go ahead.
I've been very fortunate, Eleanor and I, to have great kids and great grandkids. But he's there, and we wanted to make sure, even at Harvard, which has a fairly large Jewish population, I'd rather have my grandchildren stay within the faith and not do the assimilation, which is such a big issue in the United States in particular today, but all over the world really. And Chabad on campus is really helping that issue.
That's great. If you could send a message to Jewish students around the world, what would it be?
Well, it would be this. Even if you want to deny your Jewishness, there are people who won't let you. This horrible incident we saw yesterday being one of them. We're taping this right after the Pittsburgh tragedy. And that means you should learn more about your Jewish identity with other Jewish students and other people. And Chabad on campus offers a great opportunity to do that in a very welcoming, non-threatening way. They're not trying to make you into them. They are trying to help you embrace those pieces of Judaism that you can and learn more about it, so maybe you will go one more step.
Obviously, Chabad is very grateful for you and Eleanor for all the work you do and help. How would you suggest to other people to help?
You also can be a part of this. We send students to Israel with our Israel Links program. We provide education at all of the Chabad on campus or locations in several hundred places around the world. If you can get and feel the love, the outpouring of good feelings that I feel by giving to Chabad on campus.
We have with us now Karen and Jeffrey Cohen from Bico Management. Their company has gone from owning and managing 7,000 square feet to 8 million square feet of property, creating extraordinary workplace environments all over the world through Bico Management. Their pride and joy, however, are their adorable tribe of grandchildren and children, Mrs. Ariella and Rabbi Zev Johnson, who directs the Chabad House at the University of Texas. Let's see.
Jeffrey and Karen Cohen, do you actually have children who are shluchim on a campus?
I feel like a grandma shlucha. I really do.
And you spend time with the different students that are there.
Absolutely.
You see them in all ranges and the effect it has on them.
Absolutely. The amount of nachas that we have both received from the students and whose lives have been completely changed for, thank God, the better, is absolutely incredible.
As parents of a child who's a shlucha on a campus, what benefits do you see that she and her husband receive from Chabad on Campus International?
They receive an incredible amount of benefits. First off, we really see it because we're on the board of the International Chabad on Campus, but we're also, since it's our daughter and our grandchildren there and our son-in-law, we're there a lot and we see the students. The amount of time and tools necessary to reach the students, the JLI courses, the Lamdani, the trips, the Shabbatones, all of these types of tools that Chabad on Campus actually makes available to the shluchim and shluchos are critical for them to reach the other students on campus.
You support many programs of Chabad on Campus, but your favorite and the one you are most active in is Lamdani.
So Lamdani is a program that encourages the students to go and spend some time where they get authentic Jewish learning in an incredible environment, whether it's New Jersey, whether it's Eretz Israel in Jerusalem, or it's in Spas, and it gives them a time to really study Judaism in a deep way without other distractions. And they are surrounded by incredible teachers that they can ask all their questions to. And the key about this is they come out much stronger Jews. They've got more solid background. They also have the strength to stand up to all the movements that are so anti everything we stand for. whether it's BDS, whether it's outright anti-Semitism, which is occurring on all of our campuses. It gives them strength, it gives them knowledge. These kids grow and mature into strong Jewish leaders.
Be they veteran donors, be they new donors, maybe donors who don't think they have enough to give. What message do you have for them?
Your donation can do a world of good, no matter what the amount is, no matter what you can afford. It can change, it will change lives.
Every dollar is critical to the shluchim and shluchos, and every dollar gets to the shluchim and shluchos. This is really making a difference. You can help yourself, you can help the Jewish people, and you can make a better world for everybody.
Our next guest truly needs no introduction. My wife and I were honored to spend one of the most memorable Shabbat meals we've ever had at his home, and it's my privilege to share a message with you from Rabbi Moshe Kotlarsky, Chairman of the Board of Directors of Chabad on Campus International and Vice Chairman of Merkaz Leonei Chinuch, the educational arm of the Chabad Lubavitch movement.
A most prominent place in the world of Chabad emissaries is occupied by Chabad on Campus emissaries. These dedicated couples, shluchim and shluchais, husband and wife, rabbi and rebbitzin, who dedicate their lives to serve the needs of students who are going to be the makeup of the future leadership of world Jewry, will occupy prominent places in all of the disciplines of life. Campus shlichus today, the campus emissaries, are a family. I would like to express my appreciation and the appreciation of all of the shluchim on campus, to all of those that are donating today, to all those that have donated to Chabad on campus, and all those that will. And a special thank you to the International Board of Advisors of Chabad on campus and its chairman, Mr. George Rohr. The impact that you are making in the lives of young individuals who go away from home and don't have the comforts of home as they are on campus in other communities, in other cities, possibly in other countries, where they're pursuing their education. That you afford them a home away from home, a home of warmth, a home of education, a home of a true Jewish experience. It is thanks to you that we are able to continue this great work. May the Almighty grant to each and every one of you all the blessings of peace, health, happiness, prosperity, and together let us make the world a better place, a place where goodness and kindness is prevalent, and that we are preparing ourselves and the world for the ultimate redemption with the coming of Mashiach. God bless you all.
To conclude this evening's gala, Charlie Goldberg is back with us for one more set. Charlie, take it away.
Study the subtleties. Check it. Study the subtleties. Hungrily wondering what's above me. Questions rush through my mind abruptly, despite multiple tries to indulge in slumbering. Once we did this out of self-love, just to feel good, custom but it seems come to live more humbly. Luckily, the Yetzirah's attempt to corrupt me ultimately amount to nothing. You're riding your staff comfortably because this path is bumpy and I am clumsy. Somewhere between running and returning, I've discovered life inside adjusting. I like what I'm becoming. Move past the past after candidly confronting difficulty, unabashedly discussing tragedy. Absolutely cannot trump me. Infinity until the other receive. No junction between two marble stones. Water suggests a rupturing. Force embodied one comes home. The heart is pumping blood to the drum beat. States in flux with peace acupuncturing. The altar Rebbe and the angel ground themselves into a bagel extra buttery. I got rabbis in close company. Got a lot of chutzpah, a lot of effrontery. Israel is my state of mind. At all times I would gladly thrive for my country. 7 kings lined up on the battlefront struggling, but the intellect must be triumphant. It's all about refining our interactions like Hillel's one for the summary. Pain is gonna happen, but there's choice in suffering. Most balance when under construction. Relinquish control, this heavenly yoke gives me hope, cause I know God is always governing.
Run and return. The flames are dancing up as they burn. Sacred letters, sung, create with words. Just sip before we plunge into the source of the universe. Run and return. The flames are dancing up as they burn. Sacred letters, sung, create with words. Striving towards the one King as he draws me closer. Draw me closer.
Distractions cast aside. Shut up, blast a planet vast, your draft aside. Limitless slide advances from abstract to contracted. Refine a measure like contrasted divides. Separate fractures get fine, granted the capacity to band together tight. Infinite expanses provide the canvas for completion lavishly applied. Kindness balanced with might, banish your pride. Comparison is the thief of delight. Yucca scatters the blackness of night with a massive flash of supernatural shine. Gathers circles of mass into a form of a standing man and outline tactics to establish the order of intangible works have been catalyzed. Time pass back and forth from the source, from a track organized. Ignite the lamp you've been handed. We've been commanded to rise. Are we really living life deliberately, or is it that we just simply survive? Learning to examine reality through a fragment aside that surpasses space and time. Angels dance in delight with the human race unified. We must improve and refine. Open hearts and minds imbue inside, attuned to the movement with music rooted in the divine. Run
and return. The flames are dancing up as they burn. Sacred letters, sung, create with words. Just set before we plunge into the source of the universe. Run and return. The flames are dancing up as they burn. Sacred letters, sung, create with words. Striving towards the one King as he draws me closer.
Yeah. Thank you.